John Lusker of Lusker Archery Adventures. Series testing, successful hunting. Today I'm going to be testing another head by SEVR. And if you follow me for very long, you know that I really like SEVRs, okay? I've been impressed with them. There's a lot of Broadheads I really like, but they're one of the ones that's impressed me the most, especially because of their flight and their durability. I've been so impressed with SEVR that years ago, I reached out to them and asked them if they'd give me a discount code to pass on to my viewers. And I was the very first person they ever did that with, so they allow my discount code to be used on top of any other sales that they have going on, almost all their sales throughout the year, except if they have a big clear out or something like that. So it's really nice to be able to use that discount code. And it's LUSK5, LUSKFIVE. It'll save you $5 on any order. And hey, that's not a small amount, since the price of SEVRs is already pretty low because they go direct to consumer. Now you can save even more money using that discount code. They've recently come out with a new lineup of crossbow-specific broadheads, and they work great for crossbows, but don't be fooled, they also work great for compound bows. The only difference with them is they have a little bit wider ferrule, so it lines up flush with a crossbow bolt. The outside diameter is a little greater in those, but since I use an arrow that has a little bit wider collar, they line up perfectly for me, so I really like them out of my vertical bow as well. But I'll go through and show them to you in just a little bit. But today I'm going to be putting the 2.0 to the test. This isn't the hybrid. This is just the 2.0 SEVR crossbow model. So really eager to see how it performs. And for the testing, I'm going to be using my regimen for 2026. And for a detailed description of that, please check out the video I posted earlier this year called 2026 Broadhead Test Process. And it'll walk you through all the different tests I do and how I do them, why I do them, how I score them, and so forth and so on. And for all the shooting, I'm going to be using my Elite Eon Compound bow for the vertical bow shooting. And for the crossbow portions, I'm going to be using my Ravin LR XBow at 450 feet per second. And for all the arrows, I'm using Bishop Archery arrows. Let's zoom on in here, check out this SEVR 2.0 crossbow model, and then put it to the test. Here's a good look at the SEVR 2.0 crossbow model. This is really cool that they're coming out with all these crossbow models, and really the only difference with the crossbow model compared to the compound bow regular model is that they have a wider ferrule at the base to line up with the end of a crossbow bolt, the increased outside diameter of a crossbow bolt. I have a thicker collar on my compound bow arrows that's about the same outside diameter as a crossbow bolt, and so it lines up very well with my bigger collar. So I really like them, and they work fantastic out of a compound bow. There's no difference. It's not like you got to have a crossbow to use these. There's really no difference. They have a band that's a different color, a green band, but the band is no different either. It's the same silicone band that is like the black one used in all the others. There's no tension difference or anything. It's just green is what they chose to use for their crossbow models, but it's totally interchangeable with the black ones in the regular 2.0 models. Now, materials, the ferrule is machined out of a piece of titanium grade 5, and it comes to a tip, really nice tip right there. The tip is 0.34 inches, so it functions like a bleeder, and it's relatively sharp. I mean, I really like these tips. You know, they have the hybrids also that have a bit wider tip, a bit wider cut, but I like these as well because this is kind of the tip and the bleeder all in one. So it helps with the penetration, and you're still getting a little over 1/3 of an inch in a cut right there, and a really nice sharp tip, as well as the durability of a chisel tip in there as well. Now, I could go through so much about SEVRs, and I've done it, I mean, with every SEVR broadhead. So if you don't know how SEVRs work and some of their unique features, please check out the other videos that I have of SEVRs, because I don't want to go through it all. It takes a long time because they have so many great features. But basically, I'll just say in a nutshell, the way it works is these deployment arms impact the hide. They catch on the hide. They're not sharpened. They catch on the hide, and they force the blades open. They force the ring off like that. So here you see it in its open, full 2-inch cut position. One thing that's unique about the severs is that when they're open, they lock open. It's not going to close. Even if there's not pressure on the blades, it's not going to close, and they're going to pivot. And if they hit a hard bone, it will allow it to pivot and stay on course. That's why their theme is, their tagline is straight through it, because it goes straight through. It doesn't pivot, or it doesn't ricochet off of a bone like happens more than most people understand. And so this keeps it on course. You get a little bit smaller cut if it hits a bone like that, but then as soon as it goes around the bone, it pivots so freely that it goes right back to its original cut size. So really ingenious design. Everything's a trade-off. There's pluses and minuses to it, but I like the way that the blades lock open and you get that full cut of 2 inches this way and a little over 1/3 of an inch that way. So you're getting a nice cut with this broadhead. And severs have other features. You can watch the other videos, like I said, and understand more about it. But man, they're extremely durable. By far the most durable mechanical I've ever tested. I've shot one sever through, I think it's like a dozen dried elk scapula, even the thick part, without it breaking. Through steel plate up to 5 times without it breaking. Into cinder block 3 times, still going strong. I mean, they're more durable than most fixed blade heads, which is saying a lot. They're just really built and designed well. And they have this cool little hole right here that it comes with a set screw that if you want, you can close the blades, put the set screw in, and then you can practice with the head in the closed position and use the very same broadhead you're going to hunt with for practice. And the blades are tucked inside so they don't get near the damage or the dullness of going through a target that they would otherwise. I always recommend to touch them up anyway, but it really is a cool design to be able to practice like that. All kinds of cool features to it. But man, when it comes to a crossbow, it's hard to beat this broadhead because that extra wide base to help with penetration as well, this extra big cut, the extra durability, pivoting around a bone, man, a lot going for it. And just with severs in general, I've taken well over 40 animals with severs. I've lost count. I've taken them in the United States, in Canada, Africa, Argentina, like I mentioned, so many different species, big animals, smaller animals. They've always performed extremely well. Hey, I really look forward to putting this model to the test and seeing how it performs. With my Elite Compound bow, it got the bullseye. And with the Ravin at 450 feet per second, it also got the bullseye. It took 171 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is a 10 on a 10-point scale, plus a proportional bonus of 0.29 for being under the threshold of 200. It penetrated 6 3/4 inches. And the blades fully opened on impact and remained open the entire time. It only took an additional 13 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is a 9.74 on a 10-point scale. And it's going to get an additional 2-point bonus for both the sharpness and edge retention being under the threshold of 200. It penetrated through 54 layers, which is a 7.71 on a 10-point scale. And it's especially good because the blades are so far forward in this design. The head's in excellent shape after the 3 shots through the MDF. And it's still in near perfect condition after the 2 shots through the steel plate. There's just the slightest bit of edge chatter on the blades. And you can also see that the blades opened on impact and made a nice hole, 2 nice holes in the steel plate there. This durability is really rare for a mechanical. Here's a good look after all the durability testing, and man, it held together extremely well, perfectly well through the 3 shots in the MDF. In the steel plate, it held together very well. Slightest bit of edge chatter, right here. You can see my finger out of the way. You can see a little bit of edge shatter there, just a very minimal amount. And then into the center block, it did very well. You can see it got a little tiny bit of curl to it, but man, otherwise just in fantastic shape. So what'd you think? Man, this performed really well, okay? I love the hybrids, all right? And I've been really liking the hybrids. But in testing this, I'm reminded just how good the non-hybrids are as well. Man, in flight and in durability and penetration, I mean, they just perform exemplary, extremely well. But hey, you check out the score sheet and see how they perform in the areas that matter to you the most. And again, whether crossbow or vertical bow shooter, man, these are used interchangeably in either of them. See how it performed in the areas that matter to you the most. See if it might be a good fit for you and your hunting needs. And stay tuned for the overall cumulative score as well as the corresponding LUSK grade. And also stay tuned for a list of all the discount codes that I can offer, like SEVR. If you use LUSK5, LUSKFIVE, you can save $5 on any order. But there's many other discount codes in that slide that's coming up as well. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you next time.